Guys, gals, and guests, welcome to another episode of LGBTQ plus Singles Alive. I am your host, Holly Berry. Psych no. It's me. The Fairy Puss, Bre Starr. I'm here. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there in the chat, Holly? What's going on with y'all? Other than these Beyonce tickets, honey, I done seen some of y'all go fund me. And y'all deserve a swift kick in y'all ass, honey. People out here can't even pay their rent. Y'all worried about going to a motherfucking Beyonce concert. Honey, the shit'll be on Netflix, HBO, Cinemax, somewhere, bitch, Zeus, honey, something. Good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening. How are you all doing? I'm sorry to disappoint. But I don't have anybody scheduled for tonight. Flex, how is the connection? How is the connection looking? Am I looking? Can you give me a 1 in the chat if I'm visible? If I don't look like a Lego person, can you give me a 1 in the chat, please? Yeah, Flex, I don't have anyone planned. If you were here last week, then you know we had a horrible connection. You knew we had a horrible connection, horrible reception, and we were supposed to have Manders come back this week, but that didn't happen. Manders is apparently unavailable, unfortunately. I had another friend who was supposed to be coming on tonight, but they got shy. They admitted that at the last minute, they admitted that they were intimidated to go live with me. I don't know why. If you know why somebody might be intimidated to go live with me, put it in the chat. Inform your girl. Keep me posted, because right now I'm clueless. But yeah, they said that they were that they had gotten shy and they had froze up going live with me. So doesn't look like that's going to be happening this evening. But if there is anybody out in the chat. If there's anybody out in the chat who is interested in discussing love, who wants to talk about love, I can only dig as deep as you allow me, honey. I can only dig as deep as you allow me, honey. It's only questions. You either answer them or you don't. I'm also open to answering a few questions, have a little kiki chit chat cut up, as long as it's good questions. But I'm down to answer some questions if we don't get anybody up, if everybody is giving stage fright right now. Corey said he hopes this year is still off to a good start for me. Still, Corey, who told you it was ever a good start? Corey, I know I put on a good face. I know my therapist tells me all the time that I present very well. But honey, if you know the tragedy that lies beneath these lashes, honey, the tragedy that lies behind these lashes, honey, child. But that's between me and my motherfucking therapist. Yes, honey. I come on here to entertain y'all, to try and give y'all a break from all of the things going on in the world. I mean, occasionally, I might bring you a murder story or something. That's not That's not too uplifting, but enough of you nutty people out there like myself are obsessed with psychos. A lot of y'all are secretly psychotic, but I don't judge. I don't judge people on their mental health. I wouldn't be able to be a successful psychologist if I judge people on their mental health, because I'd be scared of you, motherfucker. It looked like one lash was trying to exit south, exit stage left. Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's talk about being a third wheel. I missed your birthday, Knox. What did you end up doing? We're going to have to discuss your birthday when you come out. Look, we're going to have to discuss your birthday when you come out. Flex said, let's talk about old school courting. I've been thinking a lot about old school courting lately, Flex. I think with me, it's going to be necessary in my future love journey. Old school courting is definitely going to be necessary because my social anxiety, and then on top of that, I'm demisexual. Like, I did a post before and I was breaking it down that it takes me a while to get comfortable having sex with somebody who I like. You know, if I like you before I feel comfortable, and if I like you and I have sex with you before I feel comfortable, it's likely not going to be good. It's likely not going to be good, you know. It's likely going to be some psychosis involved on my part because I wasn't ready. You know, all I can do is be honest. All I can do is tell y'all who I really am. But old school courting is going to be necessary. Like, I can't do a random hookup. That ain't even an option. But I could be just like friends with benefits with somebody who I didn't really like that. You know, like I could smash you and not think twice about it if I'm not really feeling you like that. I'm attracted to you, yeah. You know, sexually attracted to you, but, you know, I ain't... But it got to be something about your personality that I'd be like, can't see it for a long time. Can't see it for a long time. In my past, it usually turns out like guys who I've dated but couldn't see them for a long time, then, you know, then that one of those people would be like, you know, my fuck buddy until I found somebody worth dating. Right now, I don't have that luxury. So, you know, if it's a secret admirer out there watching, you don't have that to be worried about. But in actuality, you don't have it to be worried about anyway. If I'm a fuck buddy with somebody, then you should know that it's not somebody I'm really checking for like that. And I'm probably trying to replace you with them. But I done went off on my own little tangent. Old school courting for me, Flex, I think is definitely going to be necessary. And Flex, I can bring you up later too, if you have any comments about old school courting or anything else that's discussed. Because like I said, I'm probably not going to be up here too long unless somebody wants to come up here and talk, you know, unless somebody wants to introduce themselves, you know, boost their following, you know, look for love, talk about love. Love. Well, no, I'm going to stop singing because last time I sang on the live, people started to exit stage right. So, I'll leave the singing for the shower and not for the live streams. But old school courting is definitely going to be necessary for me, Flex. Like, that has become, and this is going to sound super sad, but that has become one of my deal breakers in this round of dating. Yes, it took till now to become a deal breaker. Look, bitch, don't judge me. Judge your mother. Okay? But it took until now for me to get comfortable really setting a lot of strong boundaries in dating, because I was always a hopeless romantic, and in some ways still am. My perspective is just more mature and more realistic. Corey says stay strong. Corey, I don't know how to be weak, and that's probably the problem, baby. I really don't understand that when people tell me to stay strong or be strong. It's like, the other option is crumble. Yeah, thank you, Corey. I appreciate it. Thank you. Peace, love, and blessings to you, honey. Remember, what you go through daily helps you get to the next step up. I remind myself of that all the time, and I think that's what keeps me going. I mentioned that in a live before, that what gets me through my hardest times is because whenever I've gone through a hard time, there's always been like an incredible period of my life come after that, an incredible opportunity, an incredible phase, an incredible journey, an incredible step, honey, an incredible two-step, bitch. Yes, honey. I love, love, love life in general, and that is not very common for somebody who deals with depression. But I am fortunate to be at a place in my mental health wellness journey where my depression is not suicidal at all. Like I told y'all before, if they try to say I commit suicide, somebody killed my motherfucking ass, bitch. Investigate, honey. Don't fuck with cats, part 2. Don't fuck with the puss. Yes. Internet sleuths. Bitch, hop on it. Alright? Okay. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Flex, what do you mean? We back at Flex with this question about a third wheel. Flex, what in the tricycle is you talking about? Flex. A third wheel? I don't know that life. I don't understand that life. That is a part of my life that I have suppressed, honey. You probably have to hypnotize me for me to be able to discuss my experiences being the third wheel, because I was always a third wheel growing up. Like, yes, I'm the cunty puss. Yes, I know it. I'm a thick chocolate bad ass bitch who happens to be smart. I know it now. But growing up, baby, I was a feminine little cunty little sissy queen. Honey, baby. In a small town, honey. I was the first person in my small town. If you didn't know this fun fact about the fairy puss, the Bre Starr, honey, I was the first person in my hometown to openly transition in my hometown. There had been drag queens and transvestites and stuff that had came before me, but like I said, I'm the first trans person to openly transition in my hometown. We're not having that conversation today. Y'all won't get me in some shit. Al, you said you would come up? All right, Al, come on up. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Back on the scene, crispy. Oh, y'all don't know nothing about that.
Hey, darling.
Hi, love. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are you?
I can't complain at all now that you're here. Give the
Ah,
people your name and pronouns.
what's up?
Give the people your name and pronouns, please.
Oh, I'm L. And she, her, hers. Most people call me Miss L, Auntie L, something like that.
You do not look old enough to be nobody's Miss L, Auntie L. What's your age and
But
location?
I will be 42 in March, and I'm in Atlanta.
I guess you are, because I'm a bit younger than you and already on. But,
Wait, you said what now?
I, I said I guess I was mistaken. You're older than I thought, and I'm younger than you, and they already calling me auntie. So
Ugh. it all of a sudden you go somewhere and be like, hey, that's auntie. Like, wait a minute now. I was just sis last week.
Wasn't it last week?
It was last week.
Now,
So
you said you're 46, and where you say you at?
Atlanta.
18.
Originally from Western New York, but I live in Atlanta now.
What made you take the track down to ACL?
The weather. I don't like snow. I don't like cold. And I've lived that life for almost 30 years. And I said, the opportunity presented itself and I jumped at the opportunity.
I ain't mad, sis. I lived down there for a while too. What is your zodiac?
I am a Pisces.
Okay,
Oh,
so your be coming up.
yep. Yeah. In March.
Work.
Next month.
Sexual orientation.
Right now it's non-existent. Girl, it's it's kind of non-existent right now, but I have only ever dated cisgender men, but I'm open to dating non-cisgender men. I'm demisexual, so I've only ever found myself attracted to femme-presenting people that I knew really well, that I was like really good friends with, things like that. But I've never acted on any of those feelings.
Interesting.
You know, I'm from an age and a demographic where kai, you know, the girl on girl wasn't really the thing. So
Yes. My and my mom flipped big when they found out that I was dating another trans woman when I was, honey. We don't do that. That's your sister.
yeah.
But I understand for some people, it's not even so much a sexuality thing as it is an ancestral thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they feel like it's ancestral because they do feel like trans women are all sisters. And it's like, yeah, but cis men are my brothers. But what are you saying?
Right.
What do you do for a living?
Okay, I was talking about what I would like to do for a living. So my passion is gardening and homesteading, and so I would like to transition from what I do now in my full-time 9 to 5 into doing more of that full-time.
I,
So
what kind of work do you do now?
I work for a financial institution.
Corporate America.
Huh?
Corporate America.
Somebody like that, yes, unfortunately.
Are you single?
Extremely.
Why would you say that you're single?
Oof. I don't know who's watching this. I would say that I'm single because um guys that I've dated were not nope, I'm not gonna put it on them. I have dated people who were not at the level that I really needed somebody to date me to be at, and I thought I could get them to the level. And then I got upset and disappointed when I couldn't get them to that level. And in thinking about it just now, I don't know if I was more disappointed in them or in me.
Are you one of those women who accepts a challenge when it comes to dating? Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, like a builder. Yeah, I have in the past. I'm moving beyond that now. So you got to come. The cake has to come already baked with the icing and the ice cream and all of the things. So I used to try to get in there and bake the cake and add the sprinkles and but I realized that you can't add eggs to a cake once it's already out the oven.
Yes, honey. Yes, honey. That tends to be a commonality that
Oh,
I notice with my sisters. And outside of sexual variance, do you identify anywhere else on the spectrum?
explain what you mean by that for me.
I'm gonna be blatant. Are you cis or
Oh, I'm
trans?
trans.
Okay.
Girl, what?
I I wanted to make sure, honey. You never know. You know what the girls is out here getting, honey, baby. Now I know how it is when we look in the mirror. A lot of times we might not see what other people see, but honey, I don't make assumptions.
Well, I
But
appreciate
that tends to be a common thread that I noticed amongst me and my sisters because, honey, I fall for a broken wing really quick. I fall for a broken vessel. Very, very.
Baby. And be trying to get that little bird back in the nest, honey. Bring him in your nest, and you done fed him. And then as soon as that wing get healed, honey, they flew off. No, ma'am, not anymore.
Honey, fed that bird all the worm, honey. Then fed all the worm in the nest, baby. Honey, and still, honey, he picking worms from out the dirt.
Uh,
How long
story.
have you been single, Al?
Oof. It's probably been at least 4 years. So quite a long time.
Um,
Yes, it was before the pandemic. I haven't dated anybody seriously since before the pandemic. Pandemonium.
I can relate. I can relate. That's a whole conversation in itself. What has been how long has been your longest relationship thus far?
Probably about 4 years, maybe. Yeah, I think about 4 years. Me and my ex dated when I was in New York still.
Oh, okay, how
And
long
then
have
and then I also have an ex that I dated here in Atlanta for, I mean, we're still friends, and we've known each other now for about almost 10 years. But we dated off and on throughout that point.
how long
My,
have you been in Atlanta?
12 years. I moved here in 2010.
Okay. So are you more of like the relationship oriented type of girl? Because it sounds like you've been in a couple of long term situations.
I am. I definitely gravitate to relationships. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, we can analyze that later.
Well, if it's a bad thing, girl, then we both stuck in Shit's Creek without the paddle. Have you ever been married or engaged?
Like legally, no.
A kind of like a domestic partnership kind of.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Yes.
I take it. I take it. Do Are you ready for love?
I'm gonna ask my therapist if I'm ready, and I'm gonna get back to you because I don't know.
Girl, I was just talking about my therapist, honey. I guess we both got their ears on fire tonight, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, they is getting their coin, honey. I know they is getting all of the Medicare coin that they deserve out of me. Could
Yes, ma'am.
could you describe your ideal partner or your potential ideal partner?
I'm going to say, I mean, without having to give like all of the basic stuff, like honest and that kind of stuff, I would say extremely supportive, attentive, extremely, but also I would like somebody that kind of likes the sort of gardening, homesteading kind of stuff that I'm into. I would like to share that with my partner. On some level, it doesn't have to be all of the things that I'm into, but I would like to be able to share that with them, or have that be a common ground. I also like to get on the Xbox every now and again, so I would like to, um, maybe have a partner who I could do that kind of stuff with. I see I got some of my other friends are in the, I'm watching this live now. Oh my God, what did I do? Um, and travel. So I like to travel as well. So I would like to, meet somebody who likes to travel.
Baby, that sounds like a good man to me, honey,
Person.
good person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I myself. Um, Deal breakers.
Um, Oof. Okay. Long distance without a plan to relocate. That's like a non-starter. Um, Smokers of all kinds, of all of the things. I can't do it. I don't like the smell of smoke. And yes, I can't do it. So, let's see. I'm not really. It's not a lot of other stuff. Like I've been in ballroom, so like if I was dating somebody that was in ballroom, okay. Let's do that. Let's support. Some I've done pageants, so I've been dating somebody who's into that. I've used to work at a bar, so if it was dates, like I'm supportive of all of the queer things. Um, but I would love to be with somebody who was like community minded and wanted to like, you know, build up the people, build up the people.
I definitely get it. I definitely get it. Um, Side note, you mentioned being involved in ballroom and all of that. I would love for you and I to privately schedule a time to ballroom chat. I started secretly doing those and posting them on YouTube, and they turning out really dope. But we'll get back to finding you love, honey. Do you have any appearance preferences?
No, I can't say that I do because I've dated guys that were short, like short. I'm like almost 6 feet, 5'11" and a half. And so I've dated guys that were short. I've dated guys that were 6'4". I've dated guys that were dark skinned, that were light skinned, that were thin, that were thicker. Um, you know, yeah, no issues there. As long as you smell good, I'm good on that. I have a very sensitive nose, so like I'm really big on like I have to love the way you smell. Cologne or not, I have to love the way you smell.
Baby, baby, honey, I forgot until recently I had walked in somebody's house and I was like, oh yeah, some people do just have odors, don't they? What,
Oh my
what,
gosh.
what would you consider your greatest strength?
Um, oof. I would say that I go, I will go to the ends of the earth for people that I love. Um, there is no limit to what I will do for people that I like. Once I fuck with you, yeah, we're gonna slay the dragon. We all of that's gonna happen. Um, but when I don't fuck with you, baby, you're dead to me. So I try not to have people because it takes a lot, but I try not to have people become dead to me.
This interview makes a lot of sense on why I tend to get along with Pisces. I don't know if Virgo always Pisces, get along with Pisces, and that's because, yeah. And any Pisces friend who we've ever cut each other off, we might speak if we in the same room and it's small.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If there's the option to not, I'm gonna take the option to not.
Would you consider yourself more of a dominant or submissive personality in relation?
Ooh, so I say it like this. Um, I will bring the energy that needs to be brought. So if you need tiger, I will give you tiger. But if you want house cat and house cat is needed, I will sit in your lap and purr. So
Is sex important to you?
is penetration important? No. Is intimacy important? Yes. I love intimacy. Sex can happen, intercourse, penetration can happen or not happen. Um, and there's ways around that too. So I think
Absolutely.
I think that's the other problem that I have is that I'm in an age demographic where a lot of people are very particular about the kind of sex that they want to have. And so when you're somebody that's demisexual, you're somebody who's like, I'm not like, while I am sex positive, I'm not like sex forward. And so when you're not that kind of person and you're a little bit more reserved in that way, it really turns a lot of people off. I have been on the apps. I've not been on the apps in about a month now, or a little over a month since before Christmas. But I would get a lot of guys that would be like, "Oh, are you top or bottom? are you this or that or that? And I'm like, I don't want to answer those questions. I don't know you. Like, I don't even like you enough to want to have sex with you. So why am I answering these questions? And they're like, I need to know now to even know if I want to invest time in you. And I'm like, if you gotta know what we gonna do in the bedroom in order to want to get to know me as a person, like I don't want to be bothered, you know? Because I don't even think about that with people until like I really really like them. So, and at that point it's like, well, whatever we gonna do what we gotta do. So whether whether we already came with the necessary equipment or whether we need to go pull it out of a drawer or you know what I'm saying. So
I get it. I get it.
you know.
I definitely understand the frustration. And I remember initially, or when I was younger, being on the apps and dealing with a lot of the hypersexual people on the apps, and me not being hypersexual, it was always a conflict. And in that, I would be quick to judge that other person, like, "Oh, you coming at me like this? Everybody then you didn't came at everybody like this. Everybody was your business and blah blah blah." But as I've gotten older and gotten to know people and dated more and stuff like that, I realized that there are some people who are hypersexual, but they are capable of monogamy. They might be hypersexual, but they are selective. Like, yeah, I might have jumped out and sent you some nudes, but I'm not checking for everybody, so I'm not going to be jumping out sending, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a fine line between the creeps and the good folks that just happen to like busting a nut.
Right, right.
When was
And then go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just saying that second category is few and far between. Seems like the good ones that just like to do what they do.
Yeah,
There's a lot of creeps out
it is
there.
it's very few and far between, and I say a thin line because I've seen some decent people, men, trans women, non-binary, agender. I've seen a lot of decent people who are sexual and are good people, and they've just been so hurt, so heartbroken, and they become so jaded that they don't expect anything out of other people outside of sex. But speaking of sex, when was the last time you were active in these streets?
Oh, honey, with another person. Um. Oh, I, girl, I don't even. It's been a long periodically time.
Monogamous or non-monogamous?
The last time was I haven't been monogamous in since my last relationship.
But are you somebody who's open to non-monogamy in relationship?
Um, I am considering the option. Yeah, I'm considering the option. I'm considering the option of a like a throuple. I'm all the options are on the table right now. Because the options that were on the table, they was not working. So we have to bring in some new options and be open to exploring other options. And if those options don't work, then we look at other options. But right now, all the options are on the table.
Only advice I give is to check in with your partners and maintain boundaries as soon as you recognize them. Is PDA a thing for you?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I like holding hands, like going for walks, stuff like that. Um I like going out to eat. Those are like that's like non-negotiables. I have to be able to know that I'm not a call me at 11 o'clock girl. I'm not even if I am a homebody and we stay at home most of the time, I have to know that it's by choice and not by default or by like, you don't feel comfortable going places. Like, can't do that.
Much respect.
Somebody
What's your age?
said, look at the question section. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I got you, Flex. I got
Oh,
you.
okay.
What is your age range for dating?
I would say I'll be 42 this year. I would say, okay, so I would say 30 and up, but like the closer you get to 30, the more like extremely mature you have to be. And then and up. And, and maybe not end up, but because it's gonna depend on, you know, the conversation and all of the things. But yeah, I'm not ageist besides babies.
I take it.
So,
I take it, and where I wouldn't judge. How do you feel about kids in marriage?
um, if I found somebody that wanted to be married and they wanted to marry me, um, then I would consider it. If they already had kids, I would have already taken that into consideration. As far as adding kids into the relationship, don't think that that would be something that would be necessary. If it was something that my partner felt like would make them feel cold, complete, whatever, I would consider it. But I've always told myself that if I ever had kids, I would need to be a stay-at-home parent. So if I was dating somebody who couldn't provide me with a stay-at-home parent life, then I don't know how much I would be considering being a parent.
It's a little scary. I've never heard anybody have my exact take on
Is
uh,
that really?
my my exact take. The one relationship I was in, where we were close to marriage and we were planning and thinking about kids. The goal was for him to be the stay at home dad. Um, for me, I prefer the other parent to be the stay at home, but somebody has to stay at home. We have to at least homeschool that child outside of socializing them with other children. We have to homeschool that child for a period.
Baby,
And
they out here banning books, honey. Somebody got to make sure the child is reading the right shit.
honey, if we in America anyway, but income requirements. Do you have any income requirements for a partner?
Um, so okay, so I'm of the mindset that there are two types of partners. There are partners who have money and partners who spend money. And so I would much rather have a partner who makes less money but is bringing all of the money to the table than to have somebody who makes a whole lot of money but they're only bringing, let's say, a small fraction of that money to the table. So, because I'm gonna bring me, as long as we're in the relationship and we get to a point where like finances is a concern. If we're not at a point where finances is really a concern, we're just kicking it, kind of dating, then no. But if we're at a point where finances are really a concern and we're trying to, like, if we're talking about commingling and or building or anything like that, then yeah, I need to make sure that your level of commitment is on par with my level of commitment and not dollar for dollar, but like percentage for percentage.
Mm, mm, mm. I did that. I did that. Uh, Are you a night in or a night out kind of girl?
When we night out where, because I'm not really a club, I'm not really club. I mean, I can do that. I have done that. I can definitely do that. um I have heels. I'm not afraid to use them. But I also am very much like Netflix and Netflix and minus the chill part.
I meant to ask you this earlier. Do you drive or live alone?
I do drive and I do live alone.
Word.
Well, I mean, I have my pets and my animals, but
Do you smoke or drink? Well, you told us you don't like smoke, but do you drink?
so, and to be clear, I do drink on occasion and I do indulge, but I don't smoke.
Okay. Would you be willing to relocate for love?
Anywhere south of where I'm currently living.
Anywhere south of Atlanta, you would be willing to move?
Yep. So I-20 south. I I can't do north anymore. I'm not doing no cold winters. I don't. Nope, can't do it.
I'm just scared for you out there, sis, with the hillbillies, and the Trump flags.
Um, I mean, I would be scared for somebody who rolled up on me with some bullshit.
That's my sis. That's my sis, y'all. I don't know if y'all know it or not. Do you see any change for yourself in the next 5 years?
Do I see any what?
Like make this for yourself in the near future?
Um, I mean, major changes. Not anything that I would think would be like detrimental to a relationship. Like I don't plan on moving out of town. At this point, I don't plan on quitting my job and starting a cult. Nothing like that.
Do you know your love language, L?
So I've taken that test a couple of times. It typically goes to words of affirmation. Um, is really big for me. Um, Borderline kink praise kink. Um, and that's when I'm in the house cat mode though. And then on the flip side, like I'm a very thoughtful person. So I like thoughtful like gifts. So because I'm a very thoughtful person. So yeah.
And these are all questions from the chat that I'm asking
Oh,
you. I'm done. I'm done with my questions.
yeah. So thoughtful gifts. If somebody can help me do something, I forget which is the actual name of that love language, but when people like help you do something or take something off your plate, that's the one. Yes. So yeah, those are my big three.
I take it. Um, Somebody wants to know, how do you feel about old school courting?
um, I think that it is. I think that people. Hmm. I like old school courting. But I think that that art form, that's the word I want to use there. That art form is so misused, and to the point that it's been devalued.
Mm, mm.
Um, yeah, but I like old school courting.
I think I get it. To be honest with you, I think it's so primitive in the way that I grew up, in the culture, that in the society that I grew up in, the community I grew up in. I think it's so primitive that I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Um, they also want to know if you're spiritual or religious.
Um, I would say spiritual, probably. Yeah, it's more than religious.
Do you have any particular practices? Like, do you pray, or any particular religious thing?
N- Nothing particular at this moment.
It is a lot of questions.
I'm on a journey.
It is a lot of questions in this chat.
Oh,
Um,
I'm
a,
excited.
a few of the questions came from the same person. You know who you are. I ain't gonna call you out. Hit Ella privately so that Elle can break some of this stuff down. Some of the questions I don't even feel comfortable asking.
Oh no,
I
not
don't
that.
feel comfortable asking publicly. It's not anything disrespectful, but I just feel like it's too private for a video that's going to be on YouTube and tell how long
Right.
for.
The internet never forgets.
Exactly. Exactly. Is it anything that you would want a potential partner to know, or is there anything who you would want somebody who's going to hit you up to know about you that we didn't bring up?
Um, I think I kind of talked about everything. Um, yeah, like first date, let's do a road trip, like a short road trip, something like that.
Okay, this they want me to keep
Oh
going,
my.
so I'm going to point out a few more questions that I think are good questions.
Okay.
Um, how do you feel about being a woman? How do you feel about being the one to propose if you ever thought somebody was worth marrying?
So that goes back to that old school courting. That's me proposing is not my ministry.
Ah!
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me say this. I could not personally see myself proposing to a male presenting person.
Agreed.
And even hearing it, like, I hate how traditional and gendered that sounds, but I can't see it going any other way. I just can't. I'm
I
so
mean,
sorry.
hey, it is what it is. Gender is a thing for a reason. We have gender identities for a reason. We're trans people for a reason, and a lot of these roles have something to do with it. I know for me, I couldn't see myself proposing to a man, and I won't take out trash if I'm in the house with a man, whether I'm fucking him or not. That's just
Look,
me.
or pump gas either.
Okay, honey, the fuck I look like smelling like gasolina. No. Um, what are your turn ons and turn offs?
Um, mm, ambition. Ambition is a big, like, a person. Like, when I talk to somebody and they tell me that they have goals, but they also tell me about, like, how they're getting to the goals. And then when I see you getting to the goals, oh, I like you. I like you.
Ain't it a turn on?
Oh my gosh. Oh, ambition is and it don't even have to be like monetary ambition, but just seeing that you are working towards something, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Passionate about something, you have
Uh,
a purpose.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then to that, people who are working in their passion and on their passion versus just working. My dogs are now playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we ain't going to keep you. We ain't going to keep you no longer, Al. Um,
Okay.
tell the folks because I know the children want you tell the folks how to get in contact with you.
Well, I'm on here, Miss L Presents. I'm also on TikTok, Miss L Talks. So y'all can feel free to reach out, follow the doll, and yeah, we'll go from there. Oh, not the follow came through immediately. Girl, the follow came through immediately.
Spell you out for the YouTube edit. To catch L on Instagram, that is Miss L Presents, MSELLEPRESENTS.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you for coming on. You saved the show this
No,
evening.
darling, thank you for having me. You have a good night.
You too. And like I said, I will be hitting you up about us doing a little ballroom chit chat.
Yes, absolutely. And I do want to say, while I have you here, I really, really appreciate the um, advocacy work that you're doing on TikTok, as well as the sort of like ballroom history information that you're providing. Really good information for the culture. for the community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
I just ask that y'all keep supporting the sister. The more y'all support me, the more I'm going to grow. I'm taking this as far as y'all willing to take it with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, sis.
My pleasure. Have a good night.
You too. That was dope. That was dope. Shout out again to Al. Shout out again to Al, honey. Is there, but before I close out, is there anybody else who wants to come up and be featured this evening before I bring the folks up to close the show, before I bring the moderators up to close the show? The countdown is starting now. We're at 5, 1,000. 4, hemorrhoids. 3, tattoos on your face. 4, tramp stamps. 1, I know I fucked up the count. All right, let's bring the moderators up, Holly. What's going on in America?
Zero, I'm here.
Hey.
Hey, somebody else is here?
Oh. Yes.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
The handsome gentleman with the nice beards. Yes.
Flex, what is you doing for hospital?
I'm at the house.
Are you home?
Yeah, my daughter just walked the dog. Did you see that?
Hey, daughter.
I'm at home.
I forgot. Do you still got your bed out in the living room? You still healing?
I'm in my bedroom now by myself.
Okay.
I'm still single.
I thought I seen some hospital shit. I was about to get concerned, honey.
No, I'm in the living room now, but I can now go in my room and sleep in my room now.
I know how y'all like to do, honey. Y'all like to slip in and get services done without telling the folks.
So let's talk about this courting thing. Courting. And the reason I bring it up is because a lot of people have lost that over the generations have. It's been a lost technique. Okay, and you can tweak it to 2023. It doesn't have to be like 1956 or 1920, but it gives you time to know someone, to meet someone, to see if they vibe with you, if they float with you, and to see if that's the kind of person you want to have in your life. It gives you a long time process. It's like people dating for a long time, having a long engagement. You don't have to run and live with someone. You don't have to shack up right away. What's happened today, people like each other. They have sex, next you know they're living together, but that's because a lot of people are codependent in 2023. So, when you're comfortable with who you are and how you're moving and shaking, you want to make sure that when you bring someone in your life that, this is going to be that person. And you're not rushing to have a shack up deal, or are we going to get married and next you're stuck in a marriage.
If you consider that courting, then that's exactly what I have been doing. I assumed when I was thinking of courting, I was thinking of like specific little chivalrous thing. But when you speak of it like that, it was with my last relationship. We were together for 4 years before we moved in together. Yes. Yeah. So for me, it's steps to everything. Even with me dating somebody, they have a 90 problem.
Yeah, it's time. It gives you time to know someone, to grow with someone, and to see if you really want to live with them or if you want to, whatever that was, Davis. Okay. Okay, never mind that story.
Davis said, don't let them spit in your mouth if you ain't ready for them for life.
Okay. All right. Never mind that story. So, anyway.
I like bodily fluids, David, but saliva ain't the one.
That's not the one, no. But yeah, courting is a process that if you really take it serious, I think that's why I'm still single after 7 years. I think I'm still single because of that. And I have my little checklist of okay, that's not on my checklist, so we need to keep it moving. So I stay single. I've been single for so long because of that. I do go on dates, but even my date, even after courting for so long, I know what I'm looking for in a date right away. I know what I'm going to tolerate. And some people don't realize they get comfortable with a date with a glass of wine. And next, I found that wine lets everybody let their hair down, and it kind of tells on you. So for me, courting is a
I
process.
know
It's a process.
with you, the flex and conversations that we've had, you have quite a few. You have your eye out for quite a few things. You have quite a few red flags that you look out for.
Yeah.
And my concern with you is, are you being are how well are you straddling that line between being protective, being guarded, and pushing people away?
A lot of it is being protective. I have my boundaries. Excuse me. I have my boundaries. And excuse me. And I used to allow people to step over those boundaries and allow them to do that as well. But I have learned as I've gotten older that I need to live within my boundaries as I do daily so that I don't allow others to step outside my boundaries. So I think the thing is I have boundaries, and some people don't know what the word boundaries means. They don't know the definition of it. They don't understand how it really works. And because there's a lot of people today that are toxic, and their toxicity can put your boundaries beyond your boundaries. So just like me, I try. Everybody can carry some toxicity. I'm aware of that, but take care of that while you have it. I've got it too, but I've got therapy. I go to therapy. I'm aware of these things, but I also do know that I have my boundaries and I have my limits, and I'm not going to step or anyone beyond my limits because I've done it before, and it was not very successful. I was being too accommodating because I thought I was being too hard on someone.
Give me 1 second. I don't know how more here. My Lord. Okay, we good. We was having some audio issues. How do you feel, Knox? Did you and your husband court but before y'all got married?
Yeah, we did. I actually had my own place, and he had his own place for about what, 2 years, babe? Couple of years, and then when I got sick and stuff. Well, I was working as an RDA clear on the other side of town, and where he lived at was actually closer to my job. So I would just Monday through Thursday I would stay the night at his house, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I would just go back to my apartment and hang out. But yeah, we courted. We courted for a while. I mean, when he actually made the decision to purchase the house, he wanted me to be a part of that decision. And I actually told him that I just didn't think that that was a good idea because of the fact that I was still like learning myself because I had just gotten out of some trouble and I'd never lived on my own before. I never knew what it was like to pay my own bills or anything like that. And at first it kind of hurt him, but then it was like he'll tell anybody, thank God that I made that decision because I don't think that at that time, we wouldn't have made it with the person that I was at that time, if that makes sense. So long story short, yes, we courted. Sorry. For
No, it
long answer.
makes sense. It makes complete sense. Um, any close people?
Anyone? What'd you say?
Any closing for the people? Anything y'all want to leave the people with tonight?
Go ahead,
Take your
Flex.
time. Take your time. Don't rush. I know everybody's trying not to die today, tomorrow, but take your time. Get to know a person because if you allow others to step over your boundaries, that means that you're going to have to backtrack and evolve from that trauma that comes from that. So A lot of times stick to your guns. Don't feel that you're being rude or nasty or mean. Just stick to your guns and let them know I have boundaries and this is what I will and will not tolerate. And if this is not where you need to be with me as a person, then go find